Okay, write your city,
I wrote two.
state, and country. You're not writing this on your index card. You're writing your city that you live in.
Wait, why did it say
And the
dog
state that you live in and the country you live in.
I mean,
Why did it say dog was Georgia?
This is for later. But you're writing this right now.
There's no I need another index card.
Dog was
Here you go. Come get one.
country is called Don't tell her. Don't tell her. The country's up there.
Can we use your hand, your staple? Staple.
All right, thumbs up in the air if you are done writing the city that you live in, the state that you live in, and the country that you live in. That's okay. Just show me what you know. I'm gonna grab them from you, okay?
I live in Tifton and I live in Georgia.
Can I take them from
How
you?
do you spell book?
Raise them in the air if you're done. Raise them high in the air.
This one teacher anyway.
Thank you.
You have two?
Thank you. All right, raise your hand if you know what city you live in. What state do you live in? What country? USA, what? USA, what does USA mean? Oh, okay. So do you capitalize those things? Why? It's specific. It's a specific place and name. Alright, who thinks they can correct on the board, circle a word that needs to be capitalized? Raise your hand if you think you know what should be capitalized. Circle just one time. Circle just one word that should be capitalized. Easiest. Oh, that was pretty easy. Shamor. Just one. What needs? Are you sure? Is that specific? Is that a specific place? Are you sure? Try again. specific one, isn't it? This is a general thing, but this is specific. Quiet with hands in the air. Levi. Come circle one for me, please. Thank you. Oh, what is that? He circled Blue Ridge. What is Blue Ridge? What does that mean?
A river. It's the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Mountains. There is a region called Blue Ridge, isn't there? So that's a specific region, so we capitalize it, right? Jordan, can you come circle one for us? We have two more. Thank you. Miss Hancock is a specific person. There's only one of her. Thank you. Bentley, yep. Come on, one more. Can you get, the pressure's on. There's only one more. Can you get it right?
I know which one is.
Take a good look. Which one?
I know.
Which one? Don't tell him. Good job.
Wait, can I
Mr. Nelson is a specific person.
one more thing to fix.
Which one do you think one more needs?
I need how.
Thank you, sorry.
I know.
No, sit down. Sit
It's
down.
horse.
Thank you. No, is horse need to be capitalized?
No.
No. Why?
Because you didn't name it.
Because there's lots and lots of horses. There's lots of types of horses. Does anybody know any types of horses?
Yes. A gorilla.
A Clydesdale horse?
Yeah. A gorilla. A white horse. No.
That's the only type of horse I know. So, if it was a Clydesdale horse, you would capitalize the C. Because it's a Clydesdale horse, specific type horse.
And a red horse.
Like there's lots of types of dogs.
Red horse.
So if it's just dog, do we capitalize dog?
No.
No. What about a golden retriever?
Yes. Yes.
The G and the R, or just the G?
G. Both.
Oh. But just like we did Father's Day, do you do the F and the D or just the F?
F
F and the D. Good job. Can somebody raise their hand quietly and tell me another word that should be capitalized? Tie. What kind of word should be capitalized? Tie. Tie should be capitalized. Can somebody else raise their hand and tell me? AC.
AC.
Well, can anybody tell me that's not their name? What should be capitalized? What? Blue Devil. You guys are the Blue Devils. So do you capitalize Blue Devil?
Yes.
Why do you capitalize Blue Devil?
Because it's a
Specific name. That is a specific name. What about Charles Spencer?
German Shepherd. Yes.
It's a specific name.
German Shepherd.
German Shepherd. That's a type of dog. So Levi. Do you capitalize the G and the S or just the G in German Shepherd?
G and German Shepherd.
G and the what? G and the S. Good job. Anybody? I'm gonna take one more. Dominic, what's a word that should be capitalized that you can think of?
Walmart.
Walmart. Why?
Because it's a place.
It's a place. Bentley, what's a word that should be capitalized? Think real hard. What's on your shirt? What is that word on your shirt? Nike. Why should Nike be capitalized?
Because it's a shoe. It's a company.
A specific
Brand.
It's a specific brand. So what about Adidas?
Yes.
What about Under Armour?
Yes. I know. They don't know about Under Armour.
About what? Oh, the spider's name. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So what do we call these words? What are these words called? That's
Proper noun.
proper proper nouns. We call these words proper nouns. Why? Why do you capitalize these things? Like what in a sentence? Why would you capitalize that in a sentence? So you know what?
It's a specific thing. People is
A class or a team? A team name, yeah. You show a specific person, place, or thing in a sentence. So you would capitalize it. I'm gonna read you a book. Should I sit over there and read it or stand up and read it? It's fine.
capitalization.
I'm gonna read the case of the incapacitated capitals. Do you guys want to sit in the floor? Hold on. Raise your hand if you want to sit in the floor and me read it. Okay, this front group, come sit in the floor.
I also want to draw my nose.
Ty's group, come sit in the floor. Levi's group, come sit in the floor. Bentley, you want to come sit over here? Okay.
In the floor.
On the floor, in a desk. All right. The case of the incapacitated capitals. So the capitals are in trouble. They can't do their work.
Why?
Why? We're going to find out why. It was the first Tuesday in May, a beautiful spring day. But in Mr. Wright's classroom, the capital letters were in sad shape. What's the matter with you? The small letters were worried. Why aren't you doing your jobs? The capital letters whimpered and moaned. Ugh.
They're probably sad because they have to do it all.
We want to take the lead in spelling out a proper names of people, places, and things. We take our tasks seriously. Normally, it's our pleasure to make sure sentences get off to a good start. And we're always happy to band together for words need special attention like exit, stop, and danger. But lately the kids have forgotten about us and now we're out of oomph. We're just goners. Meanwhile, for Mr. Wright's students, school began as usual. But morning moved toward noon. Mr. Wright looked more and more miserable. Mr. Wright looks as bad as our uppercase friends. Mr. Wright, what's wrong? Asked Sam. Mr. Wright sighed. Do you realize what day this is? It's Tuesday, said Kate. What else? Asked Mr. Wright. Pizza day in the cafeteria, said Ting. Mr. Wright groaned. You forgot about Teacher Appreciation Day. It's always the first Tuesday in May. Let me remind you, if I may, that without me, May wouldn't be a month. The kids felt bad. They decided to write a letter to the principal, Mrs. Enorthcutt. Don't peek, Mr. Wright, said Bud. It's a surprise. When the kids were finished, they showed Mr. Wright what they'd written. This should cheer you up. May 4th. Miss Enorthcutt. Learn a Lot Elementary School, 37 Forgot-Me-Not Lane, Capital City, Wisconsin. Dear Mrs. Enorthcutt, it's Teacher Appreciation Day. We think you should give Mr. Wright this Friday off from school to show how much we appreciate him. Sincerely, Mr. Wright's class.
Thank you.
What's wrong with this letter?
It's a capitalized.
Does it look funny?
Yes.
Can you see where the sentences start?
Yes.
Does it look like a new sentence without the capital letters? It doesn't look like a new
No,
sentence.
it looks like a new sentence.
Does it look jumbled all together?
It looks like an old sentence. It looks like an old sentence.
They didn't even capitalize May.
Or Mr.
Or Mr.
It looks
Or
like an old sentence.
Nothing in this letter is capitalized as it should be, the principal will be appalled. What does appalled mean?
I don't know.
He will be appalled, like, ugh, this is terrible. He won't even want to read it.
Mad.
How embarrassing. If only we had the strength to fix it. We'll call for help. But who should we say needs assistance? Capital letters or uppercase letters? Asked the small letters. It doesn't matter. They're the same thing, said the capitals. The small letters sent out an SOS. Save our sentences. Mr. Wright smiled wanly. I appreciate the thought, he said, but writing a letter is not the same as texting. You forgot something important. The kids looked around. Oops, we forgot to water the plants.
They forgot to capitalize.
I'm talking about your letter, said Mr. Wright. For instance, my name, what's wrong with it? The kids were stumped. Nothing, Mr. Wright, said Carlos. Your name fits you because you're usually right. It's usually your first name, asked Kate. Bud said, if it is, you probably wish you had a nickname like me. My name is not usually, said Mr. Wright, and I don't need a nickname. My mother already gave me one when I was little. The initials are CB, but that's all I'm telling. Now the kids were dying to know. Crybaby? Asked Sam. Cutie boy? Guessed Ting. Forget about my nickname, said Mr. Wright. I meant, what's wrong with the way you wrote my name? The principal's name, too. Carlos spoke up. We forgot to capitalize it. Right, said Mr. Wright. Now, what about the sentences in this letter? How should they begin? The first one starts